They said Kamaru Usman was too small. They said Dricus Du Plessis was too much. Well, last night, UFC Fight Night 281. One man protected his place at the top. The other answered the biggest question of his career. Let's break it down. Let's get it. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Knuckle Game Podcast, where we don't chase headlines, we chase understanding. I'm El Banger, and tonight we're breaking down UFC Fight Night 281. Dricus Du Plessis versus Kamaru Usman, 5 rounds. A lot of questions answered, and a few new ones created. But first, this episode is brought to you by Juggernaut Snacks Knuckle Sandwich, the premium fight-inspired snack built for fans who appreciate bold flavor and championship quality. Now let's get into it. The story was bigger than the fight. Would you agree? You know what made this fight so fascinating? It wasn't just Dricus Du Plessis versus Kamaru Usman. It was certainty versus belief. Dricus walked into Oklahoma City believing one thing: I belong with the best middleweights in the world. Usman walked in believing something completely different: I can become great in 2 divisions. The fans were split. Half believed Usman's championship experience would carry him. The other half, they looked at the size, the difference, and said, this is one weight class too far. The critics weren't much kinder. Most picked Dricus because he was naturally bigger, younger, and had proven he could compete with elite middleweights. Usman didn't hear doubt. He heard opportunity. Because if he beat Dricus, he wasn't just beating another former champion. He was kicking open the door to a second world title. That's legacy. That's Hall of Fame territory. That's the kind of prize worth gambling for. But this wasn't just another main event for Dricus. This was about redemption. After losing the middleweight championship, critics wanted to know if his run at the top was over. A convincing win over a former pound-for-pound king would remind everyone that he still belongs among the division's elite. For Usman, this wasn't simply about winning at 185. This was about proving greatness isn't measured on a bathroom scale. Now think about it. He already conquered welterweight, 5 title defenses, one of the greatest champions in UFC history. So why move up? Because legends eventually stop chasing belts and start chasing immortality. A second championship at a heavier weight changes how history remembers you. Lose, and people start asking questions that every aging fighter hates hearing. Is he still the same guy? That's why this fight carried so much emotional weight. And the truth was revealed when the cage door closed. Reality showed up. You can have confidence. You can have all the confidence in the world. You can have belief. You can even have a perfect game plan. But eventually, the cage tells the truth. From the opening rounds, Dricus looked like the naturally bigger man. His pressure, his timing, his kicking game, everything forced Usman to fight at a pace he didn't seem comfortable controlling. Those left high kicks kept finding their home. The knees inside of the clinch landed clean. His counters beat Usman to the punch. Usman had moments, though. I mean, let's not, act like the guy wasn't there. Usman had moments. He showed incredible toughness. He landed takedowns. He refused to be mentally broken. But refusing to break isn't the same as winning rounds. Round after round, Dricus banked up points, man, with cleaner work, heavier shots, eventually earning a unanimous decision by scores of 50, 45, 49, 46 twice. Now, some of the fans saw two different fights. You know how fight fans are? The second the final horn sounds, everybody suddenly becomes a judge. Some fans walked away saying, Usman proved he still belongs. Others said, Father Time finally caught up with him. Both can be true. Usman showed incredible heart. He absorbed punishment that would have finished a lot of middleweights. He kept trying. He even had a stronger fifth round. But the scoreboard doesn't reward courage by itself. It rewards effectiveness. And tonight, Dricus was simply more effective. Sometimes heart keeps you in the fight, but skill wins. So what does this mean for Kamaru Usman? This is the hardest part because legacies don't end overnight. They evolve. Usman didn't embarrass himself. Far from it. He proved he can compete with one of the division's best. But he also learned something. Middleweight isn't just bigger. It's different. The power's different. The speed feels different. The damage accumulates differently. Can he still compete at 185? Absolutely. Can he become champion? That's a much tougher conversation today. If I'm Usman, I don't retire. I don't panic. I pick the right fights because greatness doesn't disappear overnight. Sometimes it just needs a different road. So what does this mean for Dricus Du Plessis? Well, tonight wasn't just a victory. It was a reminder. People sometimes forget how awkward, how unorthodox, how physically demanding Dricus really is. You can prepare for him on film. Then you stand across from him and it's like shadowboxing a tornado. Nothing comes at the rhythm you expect. Tonight, he reminded the division he's still one of the most dangerous men at 185, without a doubt. Now, whether it's another title opportunity or another elite contender, one thing is certain. Nobody is volunteering to fight Dricus. So here's my takeaway. Usman didn't lose because he lacked courage. He lost because greatness eventually meets another great fighter who's naturally bigger, naturally stronger, and fighting in his own backyard. There's no shame in that. As for Dricus, tonight wasn't spectacular because he got the finish. It was spectacular because he showed discipline. He didn't chase highlights. He chased rounds. He chased position. He chased victory. Champions chase moments. Great fighters chase wins. Tonight, Dricus chased the right thing. I want to hear from you. Should Kamaru Usman stay at middleweight? Should he return to welterweight? Or is it time to start talking about the next chapter of his career? And after tonight, where does Dricus Du Plessis belong in the middleweight title picture? Drop your thoughts below and let's debate. If you enjoyed today's breakdown, hit the like button and subscribe to Knuckle Game Podcast and share this episode with every fight fan you know. This episode was brought to you by Juggernaut Snacks Knuckle Sandwich, the premium fight-inspired snack built for fight fans who appreciate bold flavor and championship quality. Until next time, I'm El Banger. Keep your hands up and your chin tucked. Peace.